Greetings, greetings. Deli, Celi, Gamma, Cali, Alpha, Lini, Celio. Know the time and use it wisely. Tell the time and make it so. Red and white, blue and yellow. Colors show the way to follow. Learn the wave spell. Feel its cycle. Ride the wave and let it flow. Okay, so today I want to share a little bit with you. I am Hevelyn Neely, the Green Girl with Greener Stems. I am the facilitator of Greener Stems, and I'm here to share a little bit with you about white sage. White sage. You see this? So, I hear a lot of people talking about burning white sage, right? Even smelling it and experiencing it. And I do it too. You know, I have my bundles that are all dried up that I might go ahead and burn. Just setting a little bit of flame to it, allowing the aroma of its combustion just to fill the space. And the reason why I do it is there are certain properties within the plant that bacteria does not want to be around. That's pretty much what it is. So the organism called the human happens to find it pleasant to the body and the sensory input. However, even to the taste, right? So some of us put sage in our foods as a seasoning, to put it in the right frequency, the right weather, right? Into the right behavior of what it is that our palate is ready to receive and experience. So long story short, white sage is not agreeable to the things that we are also not agreeable with. And so bacteria and other organisms that might find themselves present in the air will want to remove themselves in the much wider space in the environment and atmosphere. So that's why I burn white sage, because it does indeed remove the energy that does not work with my frequency. So the other thing to do, though, is to just enjoy the plant while it's alive. I don't hear a lot of talk about that, so I'm going to talk about that. How to enjoy the plant while it's alive, and that does start with a seed. So today what I was doing is I was just smelling on my white sage, and I knew I could take a minute to sit down for a while. And when I say smelling on it, I was actually at the bush, just enjoying the aroma, touching on the plant. It's very, very soft and dense, right? It's very tough, a little bit tough. So I can like rub it on my skin and it feels good, all right? So just enjoying the plant for what it is. And I have an abundance of flowers that have now dried all the way up in the sun, and I went ahead and I took those off of the full plant, right? And that actually helps the plant because the plant is now trying to grow more life. It's gone through that cycle, that season, that emotion, and it's ready to process something new. I've got like little new leaves that are coming down, very small like this, right, compared to my hand. Very small, that are now sprouting up from the plant. So I wanted to give it some space. So I took off all of that dead weight, right? All of that dead weight, and this is what that looks like. Now, I haven't even done all of it, but I have a lot of it that has already dried up because white sage is actually a native in California, a native plant. And so I don't really have to do too much with it. It's just going to kind of do its thing. It's going to live and thrive without me having to get in any additional water. I do, but I don't have to because it's so resilient to this particular space. Okay, it is self-sustainable. It's a native plant. and it knows exactly what to do with what it's been given in this environment. So I'm taking a lot of lessons from white sage, and I'm going to share one with you, which is to save seeds, right? To save seeds. The sage saves its seeds. It does not drop them, right? It doesn't just drop them. And let me show you that. It's got these seeds, these flowers that have dried up. They were once really pretty, like lavenderish, whitish kind of flowers, and now they are all dried up. And I broke them off the plant, okay? And what I can do is now collect the seeds that it has saved for me. Some plants just drop them, right? Or, you know, other plants will even cover them in a protective shell like a fruit, right? Like the avocado tree over there. But this white sage is going to save its seeds. And I've already done some this morning, but I just thought I'd share some with you, so I'm cleaning up just a little bit of what I've done and share with you what I'm going to do here. So I'm going to lower this. Hope you can see the pan. Yes. Okay. And I have gotten some seeds together already for the farmer's market. You see, you've got the white sage, Serenity Garden at the bottom. So big hug to the Pomona Farmers Market's community seed lending library, where we donate seeds to the community because we can't plant all these plants, right? No, we shouldn't. The space can't hold it. But we can definitely share for others to do that in their space that we're making for that. So I'm going to be catching the seeds. I can just go ahead and kind of do a little bit of that, and a lot of the seeds are going to come out on their own, and they're super tiny like this, right? They're super tiny. Hope you see that. But there's all of this, and I showed you a big plate of it, right? So we don't necessarily want to try to catch all of that, but what we will do is just rub it within our hands, because this is another way to actually just enjoy white sage without burning it and putting carcinogen smoke in our lungs. We can just enjoy the plant while it's going through its own processes. By smelling on the plant, growing the plant in our own area, adding the plant to our garden, and enjoying it while it's in growth time, while it's flowering, while it's drying even, right? Because it still smells absolutely wonderful. Because after I pick off all of this and I rub my hands together, my hands smell amazing. I just love it, right? So, you know, I've been really delicate, but it doesn't have to be that delicate. In terms of how you're holding on to it, you just, you know, push through, because the seed can take it. The seed's got a very protective shell over it that will not be penetrated through, you know, unless, you know, really intentionally take some type of blade to it, or you wet it until it experiences water, okay? Whether you do it or not, right? But when the seed experiences water is when it will sprout out. So again, I'm just taking more of the flowers, putting them in my hands just to make it fast, right? And rubbing them together, just rolling them together, and then all of the other plant matter just kind of removes itself, and then I just have seed alone. Now, we don't even have to do this technically, right? There's nothing saying that you can't just save this stuff, you know, put it away somewhere where it won't get wet. Okay, because the seed will sprout if it gets wet. This other dry matter, if it gets wet, and you know, depending on its environment, it could end up creating some type of mildew or what have you. So the less plant matter that you have in the seeds when you're storing them, or the better, because moisture is always a small possibility to get into it no matter what use you really store it in, okay? Or way you store it in, I should say. So after you've got a good amount of seed and chaff, then we have the ability to go ahead and kind of filter it, sieve it out. So this little handy tool here that we do keep at the farmer's market, the seed lending library. If you had some things that you wanted to bring in, some seeds that you want to collect, we can go ahead and put this together for you. But we're going to use the larger grid on the top, the medium one underneath that, and then the smallest holes there on the bottom, because these seeds are really small. So we want everything to kind of stay in its own space, so to speak, or its own little area of filter. So the larger items would be staying on top. So I've got some sticks on top here, so I can dump that out, right? We know that any seeds that I had crushed are going to fall through the larger holes. And then we've got the middle size here, which is where we might have some seeds that stayed there. But if they had been taken out of that the flower plant matter, and they had fallen out of there at all, then they would have fallen through this screen as well. So I feel pretty confident just, you know, kind of tossing that. And so we do have some seeds here. You can see that. We do have some seeds that are on this particular screen, as well as that fell onto the plate that is catching it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep what's here, put it in the bowl. I'm also going to keep what's on this plate. Okay. Okay, I probably could have done a different way to catch it there. This plate is so big. But this is the idea of just kind of collecting the seeds. It's just another way to enjoy the plant. When I say enjoy the plant, share it. Share it. We save our seeds. Okay. So I'll be sharing some of them at the farmer's market in Pomona, the Pomona farmer's market to be specific. And so you can grab some white sage seeds from Serenity Garden there. Or, you know, find your own and plant them and enjoy the white sage while it's alive. Okay? Enjoy it while it's alive. It's worth it. And enjoy the whole process of it. So be you, stay true, and share what you do. Peace. Play, create, and cultivate. When we see a lovely spiral and you see there's something new, what you see is God is growing in the difference through the new. Take the time to learn the difference. Take the time to look at you. Be the starlight in the distance. Be your purpose, be your true. Life brings chaos to those true. What brings challenge sharpens you. Be encouraged in your truth. That's all life requires of you. When you see a lovely spiral and you see there's something new, what you see is God is growing in the difference through the new.